The moment the girl bent her knees and stretched her tiny arms forward, the world seemed to hold its breath. The grass beneath her shoes was still wet from the morning dew, the air quiet except for a distant breeze, and the large dog lying in front of her lifted his head just enough to notice her movement. It was the kind of moment where time slows, where a single second feels heavy enough to change everything. No one watching could have guessed that this simple meeting between a little girl and a new dog was about to turn into something unforgettable. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the quiet miracles that happen when hearts meet without fear, take a moment right now to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope today, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Stories like this remind us why compassion still matters. The girl's name was Lily, and she was barely 3 years old, small enough that the world still felt huge and mysterious around her. She had learned to walk on this very lawn, had fallen and gotten back up more times than anyone could count, and still approached life with open arms and unguarded trust. To her, the dog lying there was not something to fear. He was simply new, different, and interesting. She did not know about sharp teeth or powerful jaws or the warnings adults whispered when they thought she could not hear. All Lily knew was that she wanted to be close. The dog, on the other hand, carried a history far heavier than his calm posture suggested. His name was Max, though he had not responded to any name for a long time. He had arrived at the house only a day earlier, brought home by Lily's mother after months of hesitation and debate. Max was a retired working dog, once trained for protection and detection, once praised for his discipline and strength, and later discarded when age and a lingering injury made him less useful. Before the shelter, there had been loud commands, harsh routines, and moments where mistakes were met with punishment instead of patience. Trust, for Max, was not something freely given. When Max first stepped onto the lawn, his movements were careful and measured. He lay down not out of relaxation, but out of habit, keeping his body low, eyes scanning, ears alert. Every sound meant something to him. Every movement carried a possible threat. Lily's mother watched from the porch, her heart tightening with every small step her daughter took toward the dog. She had been told Max was safe, that he was gentle, that he had passed every evaluation, but fear does not disappear just because someone tells you it should. Lily did not hesitate. She squatted down in front of Max, her balance unsteady but her intention clear. Her arms opened wide, palms facing up, fingers spread in an innocent invitation. It was the same gesture she used when she wanted a hug from her parents, the same gesture she offered to stuffed animals and passing butterflies. To her, love was simple and instinctive. The adults watching felt their breath catch. They had expected Lily to stop, to hesitate, maybe to pull back if Max moved. Instead, she leaned forward slightly, her face lit with a soft smile that carried no fear, only curiosity and warmth. The space between them felt charged, like the pause before a storm. Max lifted his head fully now. His dark eyes focused on the small figure in front of him, so close that he could smell her, sense her warmth, feel the gentle tremble in her arms as she held them out. In his past, hands reaching toward him had often meant commands or control. Sometimes they had meant pain. His body tensed, muscles tightening beneath his fur, instincts pulling him in opposite directions. This was the shocking moment everyone feared. But instead of pulling back, instead of growling or snapping, Max did something no one expected. He slowly shifted his weight forward, not aggressively, but with deliberate care. His head lowered, his ears relaxed, and he extended one large paw toward Lily. The paw was massive compared to her tiny hands, rough and scarred from years of work. He placed it gently into her open palms, resting it there as if making a promise. The lawn seemed to fall silent. Lily's face lit up with pure delight. She did not flinch or pull away. She wrapped both her hands around Max's paw, holding it with all the strength her small arms could muster. To her, this was not shocking at all. It was simply kindness being returned. What no one realized in that moment was how much this single gesture meant to Max. For the first time in years, he had chosen trust without being commanded. He had met innocence not with fear, but with gentleness. Something inside him, hardened by years of discipline and neglect, shifted quietly into place. From that day on, Max and Lily became inseparable. The lawn became their shared world. Lily would toddle around, talking in half-formed sentences, while Max followed at a careful distance, always watching, always protecting. He adjusted his pace to hers, lying down whenever she stopped, standing when she stood, his presence constant and steady. It was as if he understood that his role had changed, that his strength was no longer for defense or duty, but for guarding something fragile and precious. There were challenges, of course. Max startled easily at loud noises. Sudden movements made him tense, and unfamiliar visitors kept him on edge. Lily's parents worried constantly, watching for signs of stress, stepping in whenever they felt things might go wrong. But Lily never sensed danger. She approached Max the same way every time, arms open, heart unguarded. Slowly, her calm became his calm. One afternoon, weeks later, a storm rolled in unexpectedly. Thunder cracked across the sky, sharp and violent. Lily cried out in fear, dropping to the grass as tears filled her eyes. Before anyone else could reach her, Max was there. He positioned his body between Lily and the sound, standing tall and still, absorbing her fear as if it were his own. Lily clung to his fur, burying her face against his chest, and Max did not move until the storm passed. That was the moment Lily's parents truly understood what had happened that first day on the lawn. Max was not just a dog they had rescued. He had found his purpose again. Lily had given him something no training ever had, a reason to be gentle. As the months passed, Max's transformation became impossible to ignore. His eyes softened. His movements grew lighter. He began to play, awkwardly at first, chasing Lily's laughter across the yard, stopping just short of knocking her over, always careful, always aware. Neighbors who once crossed the street to avoid him now smiled when they saw the pair together. Some even stopped to watch, drawn by the quiet beauty of their bond. Lily grew too. She learned empathy not through lessons, but through experience. She learned to move carefully around Max, to read his moods, to respect his space. She talked to him constantly, telling him about her day, her toys, her dreams. Max listened, head tilted, eyes steady, as if every word mattered. The shocking moment that had once made hearts race became a story Lily's parents told again and again, not as a warning, but as a reminder. A reminder that fear can be unlearned. That kindness can reach places discipline never could. That sometimes, the most broken souls are waiting for the smallest hands to show them how to trust again. As you listen to this story, if you feel something stir inside you, if you believe that love can heal even the deepest wounds, take a moment near the end of this video to like, comment, and share it with others. Your engagement helps stories like this reach hearts that need them. Years later, Lily would not remember the exact moment she first extended her hands toward Max. To her, he had always been there, always gentle, always safe. But Max remembered. In his own quiet way, he remembered the day a little girl approached him without fear and changed his life forever. Before this story ends, we have one special request for you. Please comment below with a single word that describes how this story made you feel. Your words matter more than you know. Because sometimes, the most shocking thing a dog can do is not act on instinct, but choose love. And sometimes, the smallest hands can carry the biggest healing.